Good morning. Today is Tuesday, 26th of July, 2022. Mahatma Gandhi, known to the world as Mahatma Gandhi, was a remarkable man who pioneered non-violent resistance, which led to the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule. He trained as a lawyer in London and in 1893 went to South Africa to work at the age of 24. Where he soon became the leader of the Indian community in Durban. He is famous for many non-violent acts of defiance against the apartheid system, working for justice and less brutal treatment of the Indian community, which led to him being imprisoned several times. He was very influential in South Africa, and this is where he got the title Mahatma given to him, which means great spirit in Hinduism. This title is given to those who are greatly venerated for their spiritual life. This is not so different from the Catholic title saint, I think. When I was doing my preacher's training in 2012, we had a debate as to whether Gandhi would have gone to heaven or not, because he was not a declared Christian. Amazingly, when we found out more about him and his influences, we all agreed that he would. Apparently, Gandhi read from the Sermon on the Mount nearly every morning and evening for over 40 years. Although he wasn't a Christian, he decided early on to live his life according to Jesus' teachings on the Sermon on the Mount. He wrote his autobiography the first time he read them, probably in the 1890s in Durban, South Africa, that they went straight to my heart. I saw the Sermon on the Mount as the whole of Christianity for those who wanted to live a Christian life. It is that sermon which has endeared Jesus to me. The gentle figure of Christ, so patient, so kind, so loving, so full of forgiveness, that he taught his followers not to retaliate when abused or struck, but to turn the other cheek. I thought it was a beautiful example of the perfect human being. This is what Gandhi wrote in his diary. Gandhi disciplined himself to read daily from the Sermon on the Mount and live according to those teachings. Because of this commitment, he helped liberate both South Africa and India from systemic violence and showed the world the power of active non-violence. In the process, Gandhi, a Hindu, became a Christ-like figure, and according to Martin Luther King Jr., the greatest Christian of modern times. Hinduism is complex, and when I read a short book about it, I'll be honest, I found it almost incomprehensible. But I do understand that in the broadest understanding of Hinduism, it is quite possible to be a Christian Hindu. Now, isn't that difficult for those of us that like things in straight lines and clear boxes? I think the blurry world is an interesting place, but this is where Christ lived and preached acceptance of others. If we think of the story of the Good Samaritan, do remember he was an arch enemy of the Jews and how he declared that the example of behaviour of the Good Samaritan was the one to follow, not the way of the two priests in the story from the Jewish religion. Jesus was not at all afraid of controversy, and personally I believe that Jesus would be utterly jubilant about Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi wrote many things, and many quotes of his can be found. Here are two I like. Strength is not a physical thing. Strength is simply your level of commitment. The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable. Proverbs 22:9. Whoever has a bountiful eye will be blessed, for he shares his bread with the poor. And Gandhi certainly did that. Let us pray. Loving God, help us to keep our hearts open, welcoming, non-judgmental and loving. Strengthen our commitment to have a bountiful eye, so we may share your abundance with the poor and the poor in spirit. Have a lovely day. Hopefully you'll keep cool.